Every morning, I open 6 apps before I even start working. Today, I'm replacing all of them with one Claude dashboard, and I won't write a single line of code. If you run a business or team, your morning probably looks like mine used to. ClickUp, Trello, or something else for tasks, Airtable for pipeline, Gmail for fires, Calendar for meetings, and maybe Slack and Notion on top of that. By the time you have scanned everything, 20 minutes are gone and you haven't done anything yet. Claude has just launched a new feature called Live Artifacts. We can use it to create our own dashboard, connect it to all of our apps, and Claude refreshes that dashboard with the latest data every time we open it. And I'm going to build this from scratch. And yes, there are limitations, and I'll show you those too. Now, to use the live artifacts, you need to use the desktop application. Then at the top, switch to Cowork, then click on Live Artifacts. And this is where you can create your new artifacts or dashboards. At the top, you will see two buttons, Browse Connectors and New Artifact. You can click on Browse Connectors, then click on plus at the top, click on Browse Connectors, and you will see a long list of connectors. You can find your application from here, for example, Gmail. You can click on plus, it will ask for your permission for the connection. Just approve it, continue, and it will be connected. Similarly, you can search for your applications and connect them. So I have already connected Gmail, Calendar, ClickUp, and Airtable. Once the apps are connected, we can go back to Live Artifacts and now click on New Artifact and then chat with Claude. And it will run this default prompt, look at my connectors and ask me a few questions to figure out what kind of live artifact would be most useful for me. So you can answer these questions and it will give you suggestions for a couple of artifacts. So I'll cancel this because I already have a couple of things in mind. So I'll give it this prompt. I want to build a daily productivity dashboard as a live artifact. Before you build anything, interview me about my workflow so the dashboard actually fits how I work. Now watch this. Instead of guessing what I need, Claude asks me how I actually work. So the first question is, what do you open first every morning and what are you looking for? So I'll select, what's my day look like? Next is, how are your ClickUp tasks organized? Next, which email patterns should the dashboard surface? Next, how do you use Calendar and what should the dashboard show? Now it will start building that dashboard. Behind the scene, it will analyze the entire structure of my ClickUp, all the projects, and then come up with a plan on how to structure and put everything on the dashboard. Let's approve it. And there it is, one dashboard, and it is pulling data from multiple sources. And look at this. At the top, we have sections for today, this week, and this month. Just like I told Claude I wanted. My calendar events for today are showing up here. My priority ClickUp tasks across all three spaces are showing up here. And right here, a couple of email threads that need my attention. Under this week tab, we have all the 7 days at a glance and all the tasks for this week. Now I'm using dummy accounts and data for this demo, but I think it would have looked more concrete and actionable with the real data. Similarly, we have for this month, a section for workload by priority and top tasks this month. Now it is not pulling any data from Airtable. I have put some sample data over here like companies, activities, employee management, content pipeline, etc. So let's try to improve it. So I'll ask it to analyze all the tables in the Airtable and come up with a plan to show all the important tasks, blockers, and sites on this dashboard. And I want it to show data, tasks, etc. with beautiful clean charts and graphs. Let's approve it. All right, so now this is complete and it has added one more tab called business. And all of this data is coming from Airtable. It contains all the breakdown by month, the client pipeline, etc., etc. And this is looking really good. Now, before we customize this dashboard, a quick shout out to TickNote Cloud for sponsoring this part of the video. TickNote Cloud is essentially a document agent for your meetings. You install their Chrome extension and when you're in a call, click on start recording and it captures everything. No bot joins your meetings, so nobody sees anything. It transcribes in real time. And once the recording is complete, you can find it in your recordings folder. But here's where it gets interesting. You can create a project, let's say Cowork OS, and then upload multiple files, be it PDF, images, docs, or audio. You can also drop multiple YouTube videos over here. You can move your meeting recordings to this project. You can open your meeting recordings and click on generate to generate summary, transcript, mind map, deep research, podcast, etc. Now the shadow agent. That's their AI, and it has the complete picture of what's going on in your project. It knows your docs, your tutorials, and what your team discussed in those meetings. You can select the model of your choice and give a prompt like, based on all the meetings and documents in this project, generate a structured report with key decisions, action items, and recommended next steps. And here's the response. It has created this in-depth report. It contains all the information we are looking for. And it's not just the reports. Same workflow can generate presentations, podcasts, and even deep research from the same content. You can also add other team members to this project so that the entire team can work in collaboration. You can find the link to TickNote Cloud in the description if you want to try it. Alright, let's get back to our artifacts dashboard. Now let's make a couple of more changes. So let's ask it to add color-coded priority labels to the ClickUp tasks and add a mark as done button next to each task. Clicking on those buttons should update ClickUp. Let's also ask it to add a quick action row at the top with buttons draft reply for the top urgent email and check availability for the next calendar invite and open in ClickUp for the top tasks. And I want this dashboard in the dark theme. So let's ask it to switch to dark mode. Alright, so this is complete and it is saying it held off the dark mode change because the artifact is rendered inside Cowork's light mode sidebar Chrome. So I think we can skip it for now. Now we have these buttons at the top. If we click on these, it says opening a new tab is blocked in this sandboxed view. Copy the URL and paste it in your browser. So these are a couple of limitations with Claude Artifacts. You can't click on an external URL and navigate to it in your dashboard or in your browser from this dashboard. We can see the same behavior for the calendar. And we added the buttons for our tasks. So let's look at this task. So this is the task in ClickUp and it is in progress. Let's click on done. And it says task marked complete in ClickUp. Here we can see it is now complete. So this button is working correctly, which means you can actually add buttons in your dashboard to update data in your tools. Now, if we close everything down, you will see all of your artifacts pinned under this pinned section, which means you can create multiple dashboards. Let's say one for client management, one for productivity, one for finance, etc., etc. And whenever you want to access those dashboards, you can open Claude and click on that dashboard, and it will show you the updated information. You also have a button at the top to refresh it. And if you have any dashboard that you want to share with your team, you can download it from here as a PDF. And if you want to make any changes to this dashboard, or if you want to take certain actions, you can click on Edit in Session. And then you can start having chat with Claude. And I want to be specific about what live means here. So this is not real-time streaming. Your data refreshes when you open the dashboard or when you click on this reload button at the top. So if someone sends you an email while you're looking at this dashboard, it won't appear here automatically. Now, before you jump into this and start creating dashboards, there are a couple of things that you need to be aware of. First, there is a known bug where connectors can lose their session state. You'll open the dashboard and one section shows stale data or nothing. And the fix is simple. You go to the settings, switch to connectors, disconnect and connect to it again. It's definitely annoying, but I don't think it's a deal breaker. Second, so Gmail can actually send emails. What it can't do is handle attachments. If you need to send or read a file attachment, you're still going to Gmail for that. Third, this is not Notion or Retool. So if you need complex filtering, database views, or real-time collaboration, this isn't the tool. This is like your personal command center. It's for one person, one routine, and one view. Fourth, the live part means refresh on open. I said it before, but it's worth repeating. If you need real-time monitoring, this is not that. Now you know exactly what it's for and what to keep using your other tools for. If you found this useful, don't forget to like the video and subscribe the channel for more videos like these. Thanks for watching and I'll see you in the next one.